In this video, I attempt to build my dream editing PC, but it almost goes entirely wrong. My $1,000 CPU almost gets destroyed, things don't fit, components get installed upside down, I almost kill myself with the RAM, and the motherboard hates me. Let's watch the carnage right after this. Maltronics.com is where you can find the latest of hacker hardware, from Wi-Fi deauthors to Arduino keystroke injectors, Wi-Fi keyloggers, and USB protectors. It is run by myself, so do give it 2 minutes of your time. You're guaranteed to like our tech. Maltronics.com, link is in the description.
Hey guys, so if you've been watching me for any length of time, you'll know that my computing situation is rather complicated. I edit all my videos on this MacBook Pro, but at the same time I have a MacBook Air, and I also have this i5 build lying around that's about a few years old now, so it's getting on a bit, and it just doesn't really make any sense. I tend to use the MacBook Air most of the time, but when I edit videos I pull this thing out, and to do Arduino stuff I use the computer, and it's just a bit ridiculous. So I thought I'd combine this MacBook Pro, as in the workload I do on it, with my i5 build, aging i5 build, and instead sell those two and make a Threadripper build that's very much so out of shot. These are the parts. I asked you guys on Instagram if you want to see me build my dream editing PC, and you guys said yes. So I thought, hell, it might be fun. I mean, I'll probably screw something up. I haven't built a computer in a good number of years, so it might be funny. And if it's not funny or humorous, amusing, entertaining at all, then welcome to my very generic computer build video. As this will mostly be an editing PC, I decided to go with Threadripper, in particular the 2950X, because it's great for editing and I can still game on it if I want to, and I might be getting back into that because it's honestly been at least probably a couple of years since I loaded up any game, so that's going to be fun. I might do that tonight, just all-nighter just playing Battlefield. That would be great. I've got 32 gigs of Vengeance, 3200 megahertz RAM, a terabyte M.2 drive. I accidentally bought the wrong cooler. It was meant to be an X62, but I got an X52. I don't know what the difference is. Let's hope it still works. I've got an X399 Tai Chi motherboard, and this thing is actually rather heavy. I don't know what they packed this with, but that's a bit ridiculous. Ugh, fuck. An 850 watts EVGA G3 Supernova PSU. I've got a 2 terabyte hard drive in here. I think it's a Seagate. What have we got? I don't know, but it's a Seagate 2 terabyte hard drive, and a really boring case. This is just a generic Corsair case. Corsair tends to be really high quality from my experience, so that's why I just went with a generic Corsair case, not flashy at all. I think it was like 50, 60 quid, but it'll do the job. Assuming this thing actually fits in it. I didn't check. Actually, I don't know whether this cooler will fit. I guess we'll find out. And on top of that, I got my GTX 1080 that I've had for a good couple of years in that PC over there. If I remember correctly, it's a good idea to build the computer outside of the case first to check that everything works, though I'm not going to bother with that. We're just going to go all the way and just try and stick everything in. Oh, God damn it. Fuck. Let's take a look at this beast of a case. Carbide 275R. This is actually the most boring computer case on the whole of planet Earth. Don't need instructions, you Actually, I might keep these. Oof, that was satisfying. So as I was saying, this is a pretty basic case we have here. Usually cases come with like a pack of stuff, right? In a hard drive bay or something. Oh, okay, that just lifts off. Ah, it's not plastic. That's not glass. That's just plastic. Cheapskates. How the hell did you get this thing off? It's unscrewed. What on earth is going on? I'm gonna break this. Where did I put those instructions? Oh, you just had to really pull. Okay, I just didn't want to bend it, you know? Here's that box I was talking about. Well, that was utilitarian, I guess. Do I even need this? It's just got screws and crap in it. A few zip ties. I don't know if I need this stuff. I'm going to keep it just in case though. I really should be taking this seriously since all of this stuff combined is like well in excess of $2,000. But let's stick the motherboard in there because why not? So I hope the audio hasn't degraded too much because I'm using a different camera. But I'll be using this X399 Taichi motherboard and it has RGB, so you know it must be pretty fast. I don't even know why they bother have this opening up card thing that they do on loads of motherboards, because let's be honest, no one's buying this at a shop. So once you've bought it, you've bought it. Though it has the very pure sound, RGB, that's the only thing we really care about here, to be honest. If you're looking for instructions on how to build a computer, here is not the place, because I don't even have a, and actually that's actually really not good, I don't have a anti-static wrist strap. I'll just ground myself every few moments. I should be fine. Go away, damn box. So this is the motherboard. Let's do a quick rundown of it. We got the bit where the CPU goes. We've got 4 PCIe slots. That looks pretty nice. I'm not sure about this design here. I'm not sure I like that, to be honest. But other than that, it looks very utilitarian. And if it does the job, I'm happy. Plus it's got RGB, which is cool. Damn it, one of these caps is wonky. Should I bend that cap back? There we go. I still really can't get over how big the socket is for AMD processors, or the TR4 socket. It's just ridiculous. Like, my 2500K back in the day was a quarter the size of that. That's just insane. God, does it even fit in? Far. Yeah, it does. Kinda. Oh no. I gotta put in the thing, what's it? This. Gotta put in this. You can't not put in that. Well, I mean, you could. Right. There we go. Delicious. God. Ah, there we go. That works. God, it's a really tight fit at the bottom there. That's not going in. Oh, I know that's the right screw. Don't you play games? Why aren't these screws going in? Am I using the wrong screws? No, I'm not using the wrong screws. Actually, I might be using the wrong screws. I don't know why, but these standoff screws just aren't going in. They're not... the board isn't aligned properly. But some screws are already in, so it must be aligned properly, you know? And that's aligned. That's one's in, and that one's in. So surely it must be aligned. Alas, it's not. Honestly, I'm a bit baffled. Hallelujah. After literally half an hour, I managed to get that one stubborn ass screw in. Fuck me. On the verge of giving up. I haven't even got the motherboard in. So I think the trick here, putting the screws in, is making sure they're not too tight, but tight enough, if you know what I mean. Actually, that could be misinterpreted. Why isn't this screw going in now? Is this what happens when you buy a cheap case? This is my 2950X. Never had an AMD processor before, so I wonder what's in this. Oh. Oh, I really like the material on this. It just feels so nice. It's so matte. It's beautiful. Some stickers and a back plate. Okay, I believe I need this to screw in the sockety thing. Wow. I still can't get over how big these things are. How big of a processor they are. Massive. So this is the processor. Ooh. Okay, I have been informed that this orange bit is actually part of the processor itself. So otherwise I might have removed that because it doesn't look like it's meant to be there, let's be honest. That looks massive. That's crazy. Let's stick this in then. Okay, this is where I get worried. Just have to jimmy, oh, okay, you just have to jimmy it around. Okay, cool. Boing, boing. Okay, so I need to slide this out. And the CPU goes in there. Oh God, don't drop the CPU. Oh, that really doesn't sound great. Is it meant to click or something? Oh shit. That didn't slide in at all. What am I doing? Oh, okay. I got it. We got it. Right. So according to that guy Paul on YouTube, Paul's Hardware, I can't even remember. You meant to put that there and just snap that, and voila, it's in. Okay, great. Great. Nice. RAM time. So I've got 32 gigs, that's 2 times 16 of Corsair Vengeance, something or other, I don't know. So, knife. Yeah, this is pretty simple, just stick it in. I'm guessing it's these 2 slots I'm going to be using, the ones closest to the CPU. If I'm wrong, well, I guess I'm wrong, but that's what I'm going to do. Nice. Okay, now I suppose the next thing to do is the CPU cooler. Also just take this protective film off. I really like building PCs. It's a lot of fun. Let's stick in that M.2 drive. Oh, this is so fragile, it's so tiny. So this is the M.2 slot that I'm going to be using. If I knew that earlier, I would have done it when it wasn't in the case. There we go, finally. There we go. That looks about right. The only problem is I don't really have a screwdriver to screw this down. The screwdriver's too goddamn big. No way, it'll still do it, it'll still do it. There we go. Perfecto. Okay, what's next? We need the CPU cooler. I'm so going to use my trials and tribulations with building this computer to justify getting a takeaway later. Yeah, I'm so bad. I'm just a terrible person. Oh well. So, the Kraken X52, not the 62, which I thought I bought. Oh well. How can I open this without damaging it? I remember the times when I was 15 and I could spend a whole week just, probably even more than that, just watching as many YouTube videos as possible on every single PC part I would buy, and it was great. Alas, when you grow up, you have other responsibilities, so you can't spend as much time on these things. Why is there a micro USB, a mini USB connector on this? It's got a mini USB connector on this thing. Look at that. Like right there. This cooler has a mini USB connector. I don't know why. Maybe it's something to do with programming it, I don't know. So this presumably is the mini USB cable goes to that, and then it goes to a USB header. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Are there any instructions? I'm not a fan of instructions, but feel like I don't want to mess everything up. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any instructions on how to install this thing on the TR4 socket Threadripper. So I've just kind of guessed, I suppose. It came with this thing on the front of it, but I just pulled that off and stuck on the one that came with Threadripper. So I think that's what I meant to do. but there's no instructions, so I'm just guessing at this point. So let's go and try and fit that on. It makes me a bit nervous that this is the size of the CPU and this is the size of the cooler. Like, normally it covers the whole thing, so I don't know, just gonna hope it works. This is approved by AMD, this particular cooler, so shouldn't have any trouble. It's meant to go on this way. Oh gosh. Oh, it's a tight fit. This seems like it's going on fine. It's upside down. I think it's meant to be upside down. Well, I mean, this is upside down. Not sure if that's an issue. Kind of worried how the radiator is going to fit between this. Oh well. So, time to stick this radiator on. I guess it would be best if these are blowing outwards, I suppose. Which way do they blow? All right, they blow this way. So, I suppose if I have the fans on the other side, that's less screws to screw in. Wait, so there has to be a connection coming out here via this. I feel like this would have been better if it was the other way around. But it couldn't have gone the other way. Fuck, it could have gone the other. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Fuck. Yeah, it could have. I'm just a moron. It doesn't really matter. Actually, no, it does matter. The logo is going to be upside down. Do I care though? I don't have any. God, I don't have any extra solder paste if I take this off and redo it. I don't have any extra solder paste. See, the problem is these cables are all coming out here when they're meant to come out this way. Now I could take this off and turn it around, but I would have to reapply solder paste because all the solder paste would be screwed up. And I don't have solder paste. Do I care that the NZXT logo is upside down? Not really. It's a shame. Oh god. Oh, hang on a second, does it matter? It might actually matter if this is upside down because this is the pump. Fuck, yeah, I'm gonna have to take it off and just hope the solder paste being screwed up doesn't really matter all that much. Okay, the radiator won't fit. The radiator won't fit. Like, it just won't go in. It's just this is too high. Alright, so just to show you what I'm talking about. Ah, God. The radiator here can't get low enough to get to this rail here because some cooling block on the motherboard is in the way. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So I've spent literally the last 45 minutes trying to fit the radiator underneath in various permutations. However, there just isn't enough space. There just isn't enough space. I realise I'm incredibly washed out, but I just don't care at this point because I'm, oh god. So there just isn't enough space in the case, given the motherboard has like a cooler thing at the side. There just isn't enough space to actually fit this radiator properly. And I had no idea. It said it was 240mm. It said it would support it, but I guess it would if there wasn't this goddamn block in the way. So my two options are either to go and buy a new case. I can't really return this because I've already used it. Or I could use zip ties to just kind of zip tie this thing to the top with a couple of screws. And I think that's what I'm going to do because, oh God, I just want to get this done today, to be honest. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. Ah, what a fail. This is a complete fail. So this is what I came up with at the top. It's terrible, but it'll work for now until I get a new case that fits. This case was really cheap. It was only like £50 or something, so I'm not too worried. It's diagonal, as you can see, one screw here. I could only fit 2 screws in diagonally there. I hope the door will fit on it, but yeah, it's a pretty terrible solution. It really is. But I don't really have any other choice apart from returning this case at this point. Gosh, just look at that. It's so diagonal. It's terrible. It's so terrible. Oh dear. To make matters worse, I've just realised that the 8-pin CPU power connector there is right under the goddamn radiator, so I don't know how I'm going to figure that one out. And here is the highly coveted 1080 that I've just pulled out of my old computer. I'm just going to stick that in this one. Right, now the graphics card is in, I suppose we're almost ready to see if it posts. Just got to fix up a few loose ends, like things just flying around. But I'm really not going to bother with cable management, seeing as I'm just going to redo this thing in a couple of months. Because I'm really bummed out I got this case. Really am. Gosh, that's just on the top is terrible. It's terrible. Oh dear, oh dear. So silly me forgot to make a boot drive for my new Windows 10 PC. However, apparently you can do it on Mac. Looks a little complicated, but I'll figure it out. Right, so in other news, this thing is ready to, well, we're ready to find out whether it posts or not. So we've got our power plugged in, we've got our DisplayPort cable in there. Where is the on button? Where's the on button? Power is on the right. Let's flick the switch. Oh. Alright, we have lights. That's a good sign. The monitor's on. Oh, God. Oh dear. Okay, well, I mean, it's working. I know my monitor's a little messy. Come on, can we get something? Please. Oh, oh, oh. We're getting code 16. Error code 16. Whatever the hell that means. Oh god. Time to get the manual, I guess. Right, so it would seem we have a problem related to memory. Please reinstall the CPU and memory and then clear the CMOS. Right, I think I figured out the issue. You see, in the guide here, it shows the memory configuration. If you're only going to have if you're only going to use 2 RAM slots, then you've got to use A2 and B2. So that's this one and this one over here, whereas I used A1 and C1 because that's just what I've done in all the other computers I built. Right, so the RAM has been switched over. Oh, damn. Fuck, I actually nicked myself on the RAM slot. Wow, that's new. Tasty, nice. So, everything's back in. Let's see if it works. Please no error codes, please no error codes. 10? Alright, that's another error code, I guess. I mean, we're not getting anything up here. According to this, it's still a memory-related issue. Right, so it turned out one of the RAM slots wasn't pushed in fully until it had clicked, so that was probably what was causing the issue, but let's find out. There you go. I mean, there's no keyboard attached, so that's probably why it's having issues. I'm going to stick this radiator back in, and let's... Yeah! Hey! Right, so after much stress, we are finally in the BIOS. Oh god, it's been such a long day. I think everything's detected fine. There's the Ryzen, there's all the RAM. In the right places, mind you. If we go to boot, we can see that it's picked up our Samsung SSD there. What else have we got? The only thing that really worries me right now is that the CPU temperature is at 69. And that's pretty high for idle. However, I've done some research and apparently that's normal in BIOS. And I've seen that before, so when I boot into Windows, I'll check that out. But it looks like it's working. And my old Corsair keyboard died on me a few weeks ago, so I've got this new Corsair Strix, I think it is, which seems quite nice, and a Razer
what's it called, a Mamba or something? I don't even know. It's a mouse, okay? Right, so 24 hours later, and it seems to be working fine, thankfully. Oh god, I'm just really disappointed that that radiator didn't fit. That's the only gripe I have with this build. And me having that trouble with that RAM really spooked me. I've done probably 5 builds in the past, not including this one, and they all went flawlessly, no problems whatsoever. So I think the moral of this story is, if you're going to build a computer, make sure you research to the nth degree on all the parts you plan on buying, make sure they're compatible with each other, watch YouTube videos, make sure they all fit, because even the slightest thing like that little, what was it, that cooling block, just blocked that radiator and just completely ruined the whole thing. If you look closely here, you can see that the idle temperature on the CPU is 24 degrees, which is pretty good. Pretty good. That BIOS scare was false positive. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to chew me out in the comments, I'm sure many of you will have great joy in that. You'll take great pleasure in just calling me a retard, and you know, go for it, because you're right. I made too many mistakes, and it was all caught on camera. But I'm happy with how it turned out. It works, it posts, and it loads Windows, so I'm happy. If you want me to do an update on fixing this thing, giving it the sex appeal that it really deserves, then let me know down in the comments. But yeah, thanks for watching, and like if you haven't already, subscribe if you also haven't already, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.